Good morning, students. I am Ekta, and today we are going to start with your chapter 2 of your Behive book, The Sound of the Music, Part 2, The Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Hope you all have heard the name of Bismillah Khan, the famous Shehnai player. You can look into your books. The last picture depicted is the picture of Bismillah Khan. In the picture, you can see him playing a Shehnai in his hand. He is a well-known Shehnai player. So let us start with the chapter. Think of the Shehnai, and the first thing you will probably imagine is a wedding or a similar occasion or function. The next would probably be Ustad Bismillah Khan, the Shehnai Mastero, playing this instrument. So these two names, Shehnai and Ustad Bismillah Khan, cannot be seen away or cannot be seen separated from each other. They are synonymous. Whenever you think of Shehnai, you will visualize Bismillah Khan also with the Shehnai. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. So the chapter begins right from the time when Aurangzeb banned a musical instrument named pungi. Now, what is a pungi? I'm going to share a picture with you of pungi and shehnai, so you can find out what is the difference between pungi and a shehnai. So, pungi gave a very sharp noise which was not very pleasant to the ears. So, Aurangzeb did not like it and he banned this instrument in his royal place. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. Now, what is reeded? Reeded word includes all those musical instruments which have some kind of holes into it, some hollow instrument with the holes, and you play the instruments and gives out the noise. So, whenever anybody will play an instrument which will make some kind of noise, so everybody would call it pungi. Generic name means people will generally together as a group, people would call them pungi. um, Few had thought that it would one day be revived. Some people had thought in their minds that pungi is not getting the respect which an Indian instrument should get. So we need to revive this. Revive means change its shape, change the way it gives the music. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. Now, there was a family, it was a family of barbers, but they were also professional musicians at the same time. Their profession was music. So, they usually went to the royal palace, the king's palace, and played the music there. So they decided to improve the sound quality of pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. So what this man did, he chose a pipe which was hollow. It was a hollow stem. Naturally, it was hollow, but it was a little broader than pungi and made seven holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, like one plays flute also in the same way, soft and melodious sounds were produced because the shape and size and the number of holes were added and shape and size was changed. So the kind of music it was giving out was better than the music the pungi would give. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. He went to the royal palace and he played the instrument, this instrument, before the royalty. Royalty means the kings of that time, and everyone was impressed. They really liked it. The instrument, so different from pungi, had to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chambers and was played by a Nai barber, the instrument was named as Shehnai. Shah plus Nai. So since first of all it was played in a Shah's room. Shah means the king. King you can call as Shah. In a king's room, or somebody on a high post also can be called as a Shah. And it was played by a nai, a barber. So both the words were combined and the musical instrument was named as Shehnai. That is Shah plus Nai. Second paragraph. The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. Now, this sound of Shehnai, already it was liked by everyone, and now it was considered very holy also. And for this reason, it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. So since it was considered very holy, so it was played in the temples as well as in the very auspicious, very holy occasions like weddings, especially in North India. In the past, the Shehnai was part of the Naubat, or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. In the past, Shehnai was one of the 9 instruments played at the royal courts. Ensemble means the group. The group of the 9 instruments were there, which were played at the royal courts. So Shehnai was one of them, and it was a great respect, one can say, was given to the Shehnai. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. For quite some time, Shehnai was only played in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Until Ustad Bismillah Khan worked on it so much that it was brought to the level of stage performances, where people would come to listen to the stage performance of Shehnai and enjoy it. Paragraph 3. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Demrao in Bihar. When Bismillah Khan was 5 years of age, he would play the Gilli Danda. Is a sport children play, or you all must be knowing about it, must have heard it. Near a pond in the ancient estate, the old kingdom. Estate means the kingdom of Dumrao in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. So he would, many a times, quite regularly, he will go to visit Bihariji's temple, and there he would sing some Bhojpuri song there. And in return, the local Maharaja of that time, give him a big laddu of 1.25 kg as a reward for his singing. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has traveled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. And all this happened 80 years before. And now this boy has grown up, and he has earned the highest civilian award in India, that is the Bharat Ratna, the topmost award given to any citizen of India. So his journey has been quite long. Paragraph 4. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah Khan belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather Rasool Baksh Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur King's Court. His father Pegambar Baksh and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. So Bismillah Khan basically belonged to a family which was well known family of musicians. They played musical instruments since ages. His grandfather Rasool Baksh Khan was a Shehnai player in Maharaja Bhojpur's court. His father Pegambar Baksh was also a musician. His paternal ancestors, means his forefathers from his father's side, the ancestors from his father's side were also the great Shehnai players. Paragraph 5. The young boy took to music early in life. Young boy means, young boy refers to Bismillah Khan. He started music very early in life, at a very small age. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, now Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. So his mother took him when he was 3 years of age to his maternal uncle, means his mother's brother, in the Benares. So he was playing there Shehnai, and Bismillah Khan was fascinated. He was attracted to see him playing the musical instrument. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle. So he accompanying means he started playing the music along with his uncle Ali Baksh to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Baksh was employed to play the Shehnai. So his uncle was employed means had a job of playing Shehnai in the temple of one of the Vishnu temples of the Banaras. So he would also go there along with him. Ali Baksh would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. So Ali Baksh would go to the job and play their Shehnai, but Bismillah Khan will sit there for hours and hours as if he was charmed by the musical instrument or charmed by the music. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. So slowly his uncle started giving him lessons in playing this instrument, and he would sit there practicing throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangal Maya and the bank of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts, where he would practice in solitude. So Bismillah Khan went to these temples of Balaji, Mangal Maya, and on the banks of the river Ganga, he would go sit and practice. Apprentice means a student of something or a pupil of something. Favorite haunts. Haunts means favorite places, favorite areas where he would just go and practice in solitude. Solitude is loneliness. Alone he would sit there and practice the music. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improve and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. So he would sit there and practice some ragas which earlier people would not play on Shehnai. It was considered that some particular ragas cannot be played on Shehnai, but he would make it possible. Paragraph 6. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. There was a music meeting, a meeting related to music at Allahabad, where many musicians would come to play their music. So Bismillah Khan also accompanied his uncle there. He went with his uncle, and he was only 14 years old at that time. So at the end of his recital means playing of musical instruments. So he also played there a musical instrument. And after that, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, patted means stroked his back and told him, work hard and you shall make it. So these were quite encouraging words for Bismillah Khan. With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. So in 1938, when All India Radio was started in Lucknow, so it was a big chance for Bismillah Khan, because from there only people would regularly be able to hear him playing Shehnai on the radio.